Okay, in lesson 12 we continued subtracting fractions and mixed numbers. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is on A, is we're going to rewrite it and decode it, which is 3 plus 1/4 minus 2 minus 1/3. And the reason we're subtracting 2 and 1/3 from 3 and 1/4 is the reason they're both minus. Now we're going to rewrite it as 3 minus 2 plus the difference of 1/4 minus 1/3. And we can see we have 1 plus. Now we're going to rewrite this fraction up above with our common denominator. We know 4 times 3 is going to give us 12. So that's our common denominator. And 1 times 3 gives us 3/12. And 1 times 4 gives us 4/12. Now we have a problem now because we cannot subtract 4/12 and 3/12, but we have a whole. So I'm going to regroup this one, and I'm going to make that 12/12 plus 3/12 minus 4/12, which now gives us 15/12 minus 4/12, and our answer is 11/12. On the next one, we have 3 plus 2/3 minus 2 minus 3/4. And when we regroup it, we're going to go 3 minus 2 plus 2/3 minus 3/4. So we end up with 1 plus, and now we're going to do our equivalent fractions. So we know our denominators are going to be 12, and 4 times 2 is 8, 3 times 3 is 9. Once again, we have to regroup, so we're going to change that to 12/12 plus 8/12 minus 9/12, which gives us 20/12 minus 9/12, which gives us 11/12. Our next one, 6 plus 1/5 minus 4 minus 1/4. When we rewrite it, it's 6 minus 4 plus 1/5 minus 1/4. So we end up with 2 plus, and we're going to make our equivalent fractions. And 5 times 4 is 20. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. We're going to regroup. This is going to become 1, and since we're 20ths here, 20 20ths. So now we have 1 plus 20 20ths plus 4 20ths minus 5 20ths, which is 1 plus 24 20ths minus 5 20ths, which gives us 1 plus 19 20ths. So our answer is 1 and 19 20ths. On D, we're going to end up going with 6 plus 3/5 minus 4 minus 3/4, which gives us 6 minus 4 plus 3/5 minus 3/4. So now we have 2 plus, going to redo our common denominators. 5 times 4 is 20. 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 3 is 15. Now we're going to regroup again. Since the denominator is 20th, we're going to go 1 and 20 20ths, because that equals 2, which gives us 1 plus 20 plus 12 is 32 20ths minus 15 20ths, which is going to equal 1 and 7 20ths. Excuse me, 1 and 17 20ths. Okay, so on this one, we have 5 plus 2/7 minus 4 minus 1/3. When I rewrite it, I got 5 minus 4 plus 2/7. Actually, that is a plus 2/7 minus 1/3. So I end up 1 plus, and I'm going to redo the fractions. Now I can see they're 21st. And 2 times 3 would be 6, 1 times 7 would be 7. Now I'm going to have to regroup here, becomes 0, and it'll be 21 21st, which gives me 27 21st minus 7 21st, which gives us 20 21st. On the next one, we have 8 plus 2/3 minus 3 minus 5/7. So we have 8 minus 3 plus 2/3 minus 5/7. So we end up with 5 plus, and we're going to subtract our fractions, doing our common, which is 21, and 7 times 2 is 14, 5 times 3 is 15, so we're going to have to regroup. That becomes 4, and now this is 21, 21st, so now I got 4 plus 35 21st minus 15 21st, which gives me 4 plus 20 21st, so our answer is 4 and 20 21st. 18. So now we got 18 plus 3/4 minus 5 minus 7/8, which gives us 18 minus 5 plus 3/4 minus 7/8. Now on this one, we're going to end up with 13 plus, and you know, I could do 8 times 4 is 32, but I can see I can turn this 4 into an 8 by multiplying by 2. So I'm going to take 3 times 2 and 4 times 2, and I'm going to get 6 8s, and it's supposed to be a subtraction, 7 8s. So now we have to regroup, and we're going to end up with 12, and since we're in 8s, it'll be 8 8s. So now we got 12 plus 8 plus 6 is 14 8s minus 7 8s, and we're going to end up with 12 7 8s. Under H, we're going to end up with 17 plus 1/5 minus 2 minus 5/8. So now we got 17 minus 2 plus 1/5 minus 5/8. So we end up with 15 plus, and we're going to redo these. And we know the common denominator is 40. 1 times 8 is 8. 5 times 5 is 25. So now we're going to have to regroup. We're going to take this to 14, and this is 40 40ths. So now I got 14 plus 48 40ths minus 25 40ths, which equals 14 and 23 40ths. Now, first day we only said for you have to do the problems on the first page. I'm going to go ahead and continue for the whole lesson. So if you want to, you can stop at this point and wait till tomorrow, or you can continue working on the homework. Tony wrote the following: 7 1/4 minus 3 3/3 equals 4 1/4 minus 3/4. Okay. Now, first thing I would do is work this out to see if this was correct. Okay. Because, well, you can see what he did. He took here, he did 7 minus 3, which gave him 4. Okay. And then he has 1/4 minus 3/4. Okay. So is that true? Okay. Well, it's true. But it's not solved all the way. But remember, it just says, is the statement correct? Okay. And it is correct, because 7 minus 3 would be 4, and then you'd have 1/4 minus 3/4 left. So yes, I'm not concerned with a number line to support the answer. But how about if we continue, we just work the problem out and we can see. So let's say, like we did, 7 minus 3, and then we're going to add 1/4 minus 3/4. And you can see when we do this, it ends up being 4 plus, and if I usually converted it this time, but if I don't convert it, 1/4 minus 3/4, which would equal 4 1/4 minus 3/4. And that's the question. They just want to know if these two statements are equal. Miss Sanger blended 8 3/4 gallons of iced tea with some lemonade for a picnic. If there are 13 2/5 gallons of the beverage, how many gallons of lemonade did she use? So let's start off with the tape diagram. And it says she used 8 3/4 gallons, and this here was iced tea. The rest was lemonade. And it said the total, and we don't know what the lemonade is, but it said the total was 13 2/5 gallons. So we can see in order to solve that, we got 13 2/5 minus 8 3/4, which when we rewrite this, it becomes 13 plus 2/5 minus 8 minus 3/4. Which now when we change around, we got 13 minus 8 plus 2/5 minus 3/4, which that's going to give us 5 plus, and we're going to do our conversions. We can do 5 times 4 is 20. 2 times 4 is 8. 5 times 3 is 15. We're going to have to do a regroup of 4 20/20, which gives us 4 plus 28/20 minus 15/20, which will leave us 4 13/20. So that's how much lemonade they used. Carpenter has 10 1/2 feet of wooden plank. He cuts off 4 1/4 to replace a slat on the deck, 3 2/3 feet to repair a banister. He uses the rest of the plank to fix a stair. How many feet does a carpenter use to fix a stair? So we're going to start off with a tape diagram. And we need a total length of this plank was 10 1/2 feet. It says 4 1/4 feet was used to replace a slat. And it says 3 2/3 was used to replace the banister. And it says the remaining was used to fix a stair. Oh, stair down here. And we're looking for how much this amount was to fix the stair. So you can see we're going to have 10 1/2 minus 4 1/4 minus 3 2/3 minus, oh, just those two, will equal how much it was for the stair. So now when we regroup this, we have 10 minus 4 minus 3 plus, in our fractions, we have 1/2 minus 1/4 minus 2/3. So we have 10 minus 4 is 6 minus 3, which is going to give us 3. Plus, over here we have 1/2 minus 1/4. So let's go ahead and redo these. And we can see, I'm just going to subtract 2 of them first. And this one here is 1/4. And one of the questions is I can turn it into the other. So I know I can multiply this by 2 and this by 2 to get 2/4. So now I have 3 plus 2/4 minus 1/4 gives us 1/4 minus 2/3. I'm going to come up top here. 3 plus 1/4 minus 2/3. So now we're coming up with a common denominator. And we know 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 3 is 3. 4 times 2 is 8. Now we're going to have to regroup. So this can become 2, and we're going to go with 12/12, which now we have 2 plus 15/12 minus 8/12, which gives us 2 7/12. So that's how much was used for the chair.